Hello and welcome to another early morning extra here on Get Up and Game, where I sneak in an extra gameplay very early in the morning, but I have to talk so quietly as not to wake up my family. Today, by request, I'm going to be playing Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider against Thanos, because this is one of my perfect matchups that I released a little while back. All the games I picked to be perfect matchups of a hero versus a villain. And I have Ghost Spider in protection pitted against Thanos, because sometimes Gwen in green feels so strong as to be overkill against most villains, but her high defense is actually very helpful against Thanos. And playing in protection, we can use the Night Nurse to negate the annoying effects of the Infinity Gauntlet. And she doesn't have any stun or confuse, so we're not losing anything there going up against Thanos' stalwart. So I think this is a particularly fun matchup, and I've had success with it in the past, but I'm hoping to see if I can replicate that success here or if that was just luck. So we've got the Infinity Stone deck here, and we have to put one into play per Thanos' scheme text. If you use the Infinity Gauntlet with somebody else, it doesn't automatically start with a stone in play. But he is going to have the Mind Stone, so I'm going to start off getting confused pretty early. Go ahead and shuffle up the encounter deck on camera here. This is the first game I've played with the new version 1.5 of the rules, so we'll see if anything comes up that's slightly different. I suspect it won't, because most of the rules are pretty much the same as they have been, but you never know. Alright, so when facing Thanos, of course, you start with the Sanctuary Side Scheme in play, which says that we can't damage him until we remove this. And we'll be bringing out Infinity Stones here and there as well. So let's draw our opening hand, see what we get. This is basically a very straightforward, perfect protection, perfect defense deck that just wants to defend without taking damage and trigger all kinds of special abilities. Don't really need any of this to start the game, however. We'll hold on to take it to the multiverse. And an energy barrier. Nah, I want my key setup cards. I'd really like to see George Stacy. I'd really like to see a Phantom Flip early on so I can just get rid of Sanctuary right away. No George. But both of my Pirouette Punches, which would have been really nice to have George to put those on. So, well, that didn't work out really at all. I have all these resources and very little to spend them on. So, I think what I'm going to do, really wish I'd held on to the energy barrier now just to have something to spend this double resource on. But I am going to spend this so that I can shuffle it back into my deck while I'm still in Alter Ego, because that is her special ability. So I guess we'll just use this to bring in a Hard to Ignore. And we'll use a Pirouette and Punch to bring in the Night Nurse. So that's really going to help with all the annoying status effects. And we'll shuffle Take to the Multiverse. I'm tempted to just play Ticket to the Multiverse to the table since I had so many resources. Maybe that would have been the way to go, but I like to have it cycle through the deck a few times for the double resource because all of her cards cost 2, so it's nice to have that extra double. But maybe I should have just done that. Now we're going to flip into hero form, and I don't really know what I want to do with these cards. We're going to go ahead and thwart for 1 because we can't attack and deal any damage. I don't have any of my effects to trigger, so it's pretty much a terrible start. We're going to ready, and I'm just going to hold on to the strength, I guess, in case I get like a Phantom Flip or her Web Bracelet, something like that, but I don't want to hold on to a Pirouette and Punch. So I guess that's the end of our first turn. So we're drawing back up, get another Hard to Ignore. A Web Binding. Would it be really nice to see as an Expert Defense or a nope? None of my defense events. All right, definitely getting off to a bit of a rough start. We can't even play web binding because we don't have any mental resources to pay for it. Wow. Well, we're putting Ghost Spider in a tough situation. So that is the end of our turn. Going to the villain phase. Put one threat on the main scheme. Now Thanos is going to be attacking us. I'm not going to be able to ready, but we'll still go ahead and exhaust to defend because I don't want to take a big hit. And if we're very, very lucky, we won't take any damage, but I guess we'll see. So he's attacking for 3. It is 0. He gets a tough status card. Well, can't damage him right now anyway, so we can live with that. So he gets tough, but the boost was 0, so we take no damage. So we can hard to ignore to keep the main scheme low. That's very nice. Now the Infinity Gauntlet triggers, and we are confused. Just put this on the bottom of the deck there. And we're confused, but we're not too worried about that because we can just use the Night Nurse to take it off. And our encounter card is he gets a Master of the Stones, which means he's basically going to get an extra stone next time he activates. Okay, that wasn't terrible for how bad our start was. Now, do we have anything to do here? Back at our turn, kinda. We'll go use, well, do I even care about clearing the confuse? Because I don't get to heal. I almost want to wait till I take some damage to heal, but I don't know. Gwen's probably not going to take too much damage anyway. We're going to go ahead and get Clea just for some helpful stats on the table, or maybe chump block against an extra attack. We'll use this web binding to get another hard to ignore on the table. And having this makes me very tempted to flip down to get George, but if I do that, I'm going to want to hold on to something to pay for him, aren't I? Oh, but I really want these other cards too. Well, I know this probably isn't the most efficient play, but I'm going to go ahead and flip down and I'm going to hold on to this rather than go and search for George, just in case Worried Father comes out and steals him from me anyway. And Clea is going to thwart one more off of here. And we'll see how things go. Don't want to spend too much time in Alter Ego as Gwen, but 2, 3, oh look, my defense cards, a web bracelet, armored vest, and the other web bracelet. Ugh. Sometimes Gwen's hands just do not come out the way you want them to. Okay, so main scheme goes up by 1. Clea should have a damage. Thanos is going to be scheming for 1 + 1, so 2, 0. Discard an ally or support you control. Fabulous. Guess we're discarding Clea because I don't want to lose my Night Nurse. But he only schemed for 2. So the main goes up to 3. And when Thanos activates, we should have put this, oops, I missed this. So when he activated, so before he schemed, we should have put the top card of the Infinity Stone into play, and he would have had +1 scheme. That's all right, we caught it. And then at the end of the activation, we discard this. And then now that there's a stone in play, we trigger this, discard an ally, upgrade, or support you control. Lose one of my hard to ignores. This goes away. It's really hard to keep stuff in play against Thanos. Now our encounter card is Supergiant. Oh, perfect time to go to Alter Ego because she has Quick Strike, but she won't attack me in Alter Ego, so that actually kind of worked out. Now, we are going to use Parental Guidance. If George Stacy is not in play, search your deck and discard pile for him and add him to your hand. I know her obligation is still in there, so it's always risky to play George early, but just really, really, really like having him play, and hopefully we don't lose him. So now that he is in our hand, we can use Am I gonna be able to play both web bracelets? I'd like to, but if I use this to play George, ugh, I just don't really have these two to get the web bracelet down and then put expert defense on George. I guess that works. I don't know if this is the best way to play it, but we're going to use that to play George. Now we could exhaust him and ready him, but that's just not going to be necessary. And then we will use these two to get a web bracelet on the table because we certainly want one. And then we'll just attach the expert defense to George for future use. We'll go ahead and punch Supergiant for 2. Start working on that. And I don't really have a plan for getting rid of her. I think I will, you know what, I just don't mind being confused right now. I'm going to save this because I'm probably going to get stunned from Supergiant and take some damage. So I'm just going to continue to hold on to the Night Nurse for now. Flip everything up. We're guaranteed to have an expert defense for our Thanos attack, which is nice. There's Ticket again. G, Unflappable. Oh, Ticket will be really nice to play for Spider-Man. And a Ghost Kick. Okay, now this... Man, I keep giving up all my best cards. But that might be the way to go. Okay, so main scheme is going up to 5, so we definitely need to be paying attention to that. Thanos is attacking for 3, so we're going to go ahead and exhaust to defend and use George to play this expert defense, which will ready us and let us draw a card, giving us the Web of Life and Destiny. So we're defending for 6, and he attacked for 6. So some things are lining up perfectly. So we take no damage, which means we can remove 1 threat from the main scheme with Hard to Ignore. And now Supergiant wants to attack us. Also, we could use a Ghost Kick right now if we want to take out Supergiant. It's kind of a overkill since I already punched her for 2, but might still be worth just taking her off the table so we don't get, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get rid of her. So we just don't even have to deal with that attack. And now we just have our an Infinity Stone popped out after Thanos. That's so easy to forget. And then our counter card is Avatar of Death. Now he's going to attack us again with Overkill and Piercing. And we now know, thanks to the new rules, that this goes to the discard pile before the activation starts, rather than staying in play waiting for the entire effect to be resolved. So that is just definitely already gone. And then he's going to heal and get a tough. Well, we don't care about that. He's attacking us again. We'll go ahead and defend. I'm probably going to take some damage here. Attacking for 3, 4, 5. So we're going to take 2. We started at 10. And that had Overkill and Piercing, but that didn't matter. Now the Soul Stone will trigger. He'll heal and gets a face down boost card. That's right. I thought it was a tough. Okay. Okay. We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. Okay, now we can simply, I hate to give up on Flappable, but if I just used a Spider-Man, then I'm not really doing much else. So, yep, we're going to use Ticket to the Multiverse as 2 wilds and the Unflappable as the 3rd different resource to bring Spider-Man out. And we'll just get the Web of Life and Destiny on the table for when my Web Warrior allies leave play. Spider-Man is going to thwart for 2. Let's go ahead and get rid of Sanctuary, just so we don't have to worry about it anymore. This goes to the victory display, and if we wanted to, we could spend some punch resources to deal damage to Thanos, but we don't have any. I just wanted it gone. That's the important thing. He takes the damage. When he activates, you ready a Web Warrior. Now Gwen is going to go ahead and punch Thanos for 2. Oh, no, she is going to knock off his tough status. That's what she's going to do. And that is going to be that. I am going to go ahead and use the Night Nurse now. I'm not going to bother to exhaust her, but to clear the Confuse and heal for 1. This way, if we do draw a Phantom Flip, we can just use it on the main scheme. All right. So we're kind of getting set up. Some of our best cards are in the discard pile, but we've got some good things in play. 1, 2, there's a Phantom Flip. 4, there's another Phantom Flip and a Ghost Kick. Well, got options, I suppose. Main Scheme is going back up to 5. Now he's attacking with 2 boost cards, and I didn't get any of my defense events. So definitely going to be taking some damage, but I'll still be able to ready by playing a Phantom Flip to clear the Main Scheme. Probably with these 2, and then I could use a Ghost Kick to play Endurance. Well, I'm going to get the draw card, so we'll see. But yeah, so he's attacking. We're going to defend for 3. He's attacking for 3 with 2 boosts. You reveal 1 at a time in the order they were dealt. So the first one is for 2, so he's attacking for 5. 6. So taking a big hit, 3 damage. But now that I have used a basic power, I'm going to play a Phantom Flip to remove 5 threat from a scheme. Just keep the Main Scheme low. We don't want to lose half our deck if we can avoid it. And since we played a response or an interrupt, we get to ready and draw a card, which is going to be, oh, genius, okay. And we'll see what, let's see, so he spits out a stone, right? Time Stone. And now our encounter card is Deviant Syndrome, has Insight 1, and he gets a tough status. Annoying, but not horrible. And we know we're going to be adding a bunch more threat, but it's pretty low, so we should be okay. So now I kind of just wanted to punch him and Ghost Kick him and punch him again. And I think that's probably better than playing the Endurance, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to punch him for 2 to remove the tough. We're going to use a Ghost Kick to deal 6 damage to him, knocking him down to 10. It's going to ready Ghost Spider. We can't draw a card because we don't have a Web Bracelet. We're just going to attack for 2, 4. That's going to ready Ghost Spider. 2 more, so 6 total damage. Bring Thanos down to 4. Spider-Man takes the damage. And we have this Endurance laying around that I really would like to play, but I'm not going to hold on to it. All right, I think that's all for us. We're at 6, so hopefully we don't take a huge hit here. I haven't had defense events for pretty much all of these attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully we get something this time. All right, we have an Expert Defense we can play. We have Silk. Okay, we've got some good cards. Main Scheme is going up to 2. Thanos is attacking for 3. We're going to exhaust Gwen and play an Expert Defense, so we're defending for 6. And after we play this, we are ready and draw a card, which is going to be another defense card. So we're defending for 6. He's attacking for 3, so we take no damage. So we can remove threat from the main. Now the Time Stone triggers, we're going to lose 4 cards off our deck. We actually only have 1, and it is for each different type. So it's an event. We add another threat to the main. We're going to shuffle and get an extra encounter card. The Time Stone is going to get discarded. And we're going to have 2 encounter cards to resolve. And hopefully now I can get my other Web Bracelet out, and maybe my Armored Vest would be nice. So this goes away. I just put it under for space saving purposes. So now we have 2 encounter cards. First one. There it is. Worried Father. Search your hand, discard pile player, and set him aside. Attach this obligation to him. Well, at least he didn't have any cards on him. So I guess went to a lot of effort to get him out, and I don't know how much use we've really gotten out of him. But that is that. And we get Black Dwarf, who is just so perfectly sized for a Ghost Kick. We don't have a Ghost Kick, but if we did, that would be a great way to deal with him. Okay. So What do we want to do here? We have SPDR in the Web of Life and Destiny, so we kind of have that combo going if we want to. I would have loved to have put one of these on George, but I can't anymore. So I guess we're going to use these two to play SPDR. And, oh, that doesn't leave me with much. Okay, well then we're going to get to draw a card because we're going to have Ghost Spider attack Black Dwarf. We're going to have Spider-Man attack him, which is going to ready Ghost Spider. And then we're going to have Ghost Spider attack him again, which is going to take all that. And then since Spider-Man leaves play with the Web of Life and Destiny, we get to draw a card into a Phantom Flip. We'll just use these two to play Silk. And when she enters play, we control another Web Warrior card. We can search and counter deck for a Treachery and discard it. Well, Shadows is always a nice target. Advance, Gang Up. There's a lot of good ones still in here for sure. Blood Despair can be kind of annoying. Yeah, the Avatar of Death. We don't mind getting attacked too much. I guess we'll get rid of Shadows just because of the extra hassle, even though Gwen's isn't too bad. Maybe Advance would have been the way to go. So there's that. Now we have these two. With SPDR, you want her to be defeated by taking excess consequential damage, so you attack with her first. So let's just go ahead and attack for 2. Let's try to keep the pressure on Thanos. The threat is in a pretty good spot. So that is everything. Do we want to flip down and get George back for as much use as I've gotten out of him? Well, no, I don't think it's worth it. I was going to say maybe I'll have Silk thwart just to keep that down a little bit and then go down and get George back. Well, we were already exhausted, so we'd have to exhaust next turn. Nah, we're not going to worry about it. So, drawing 5. Yeah, we're just going to try to push for the win here, I think. Wow. We don't have any of our damage, but we do have an expert defense. That's nice. So, main scheme goes up to 3. Thanos is attacking for 3. Exhaust to defend. Play an expert defense. We're defending for 6. Ready is Ghost Spider. Draws us a card to Otto. That'll be nice. Now he's attacking for 3, 4, 5. We take no damage thanks to the expert defense. So we get to remove a threat. Keeping that nice and low, an Infinity Stone pops out. It's going to be the Space Stone. And then we just have one encounter card, which is going to get us another Infinity Stone, which is going to empty the Infinity Stone deck, which gives Thanos an extra boost card. So we're going to be stunned and have a minion next time Thanos activates. All right. So it's back to us. We're going to be attacking with SPDR for, or thwarting with SPDR for 2, so that she's defeated with excess consequential damage. She'll come back to our hand, and we'll get to draw a card. So we probably will just start with that. Yeah, so we're going to thwart for 2. That defeats her with excess consequential. Comes back to our hand. Web of Life and Destiny draws us a card. We have all this threat removal and nothing to do with it. Could play Otto to ready a web bracelet, but I don't think we'll be playing any. Nope. Things just don't seem to be flowing particularly well for Gwen this game, but we're still doing pretty well, I guess, so that's good. Well, we can still ready and draw a card if we play Otto, so let's go ahead and do Clea, or Defiance and Phantom Flip for him, and when he comes into play, you get to ready an upgrade and it has tech, draw a card. Well, that does have tech, so we get to draw a card into a Ghost Kick. Oh, there's some damage. Okay, now this is going to work out then, because now we can attack, knock him out. Does he get tough? He sure does. Of course he does. Okay, so we're gonna have to time this wisely then. So, and then we can say attack him real big and then play endurance, I guess, will be the play. So, well, we want to attack him, flip him, get rid of his tough. So we're going to attack with Spider-Man, even though it's going to cost us the ally because he has 2 consequential. That's going to knock Thanos down to 0. It's going to flip him to his next stage. He comes in with toughness and his helmet, which I believe gives him retaliate, but what are you going to do? Did we already see his helmet? Nope, there it is. Yep, it takes a mental and a physical resource to get rid of it. And let's see, I don't have any mentals, so that's not even an option. Okay, so he has that, and there's an extra boost card. A lot of stuff going on here. Spider-Man takes 2 consequential and goes away. Now we are just going to use Silk to take off the tough. He also has 23 hit points. And she goes away. But I'm going to get to draw 2 cards for the Web Warriors leaving play. Let us not forget. Defiance and Parental Guidance. Still no mental, unfortunately, so I won't be able to get rid of that helmet. And so now we're going to be taking some damage then. We're going to attack for 2, bring him down to 21, and take a damage. Then we are going to play a Ghost Kick for 6 more damage. Bring him down to 15. Taking another damage. This isn't great. But we played Interrupted Response, so we get 2 ready. And draw a card into an energy barrier. Oh, let's get one of those on the table, maybe. I can play an energy barrier and an endurance. That seems good. So yeah. Get an energy barrier out there, 3 counters. That's going to help stop the bleeding here. And we use SPDR to play an endurance. 3 more. Oh, wrong way. We want the health. And then now when we attack for 2 more, down to 13, when we take the retaliate, we'll just use the energy barrier to prevent the damage and deal 1 more. So that's nice. So I think that's everything. I'll just kind of put that with the gauntlet. He's got the boost card. We've got a whole bunch of stuff about to happen. I'm at 7, so I'm not going to use Night Nurse. I'm going to wait till I get stunned here. I think that's everything. Ready up. Drawing the other web bracelet, another energy barrier, not hard to ignore, the armored vest, and genius. So no defense abilities. And no ready anything with ghost kicks and fan flips and such. Dang it. Alright, well, main goes up to 1. He's attacking with 2 boosts. And we're only defending for 3, but we will defend. And oh my goodness, he only attacked us for 3? If damage from this attack defeats an ally, it doesn't. So literally, wow, that was incredibly lucky. So we take no damage. We can remove the threat. Now we are stunned, and we're going to get a minion. So being stunned and exhausted isn't great, considering we didn't have a way to ready. And this is going to cause us to discard cards till we find a minion. There's at least a couple in there, I think. Ebony Maw might still be in there. Maybe? Oh, Proxima. Alright, she has piercing. Well, we don't get tough, but she hits for 3, so that's not great. And we still have an encounter card. Feels like we already resolved some encounter cards. Blood Despair. Each minion engaged with the player activates against that player. Well, perfect timing. And so Proxima is going to attack us for 3. Nothing we can do. Well, we'll take 2 and an energy barrier. And deal 1 damage. Well, I kind of don't want to bother putting it on her because 1 ghost kick will take her out either way. So yeah, I'm just going to hit Thanos and see if maybe we can try to push for the win here. There's lots of room on the main scheme. So I might need to just flip down to Alter Ego because I can't do much this turn anyway. So let's use the Night Nurse to heal for 1 and get rid of this stun. And then I think, yeah, there's really nothing to do in hero form. So we're gonna flip to Alter Ego. I haven't seen a ticket to the multiverse on this deck pass. No. Okay, so I can't shuffle that back in. So pretty much just can get some stuff to the table. Could get the other web bracelet and another energy barrier, though another armored vest would be really nice too. Or rather, having the armored vest would be nice. So yeah, definitely. Or do we care? I think the energy barrier is probably more useful than the web bracelet at this point. So we'll get that out, and or I could hold on to it and try to play it next turn. Yeah, sure. I'll use this hard to ignore to get armored vest down. Make it easier to not take damage, though that has not been a problem. We've gotten very lucky on some boost cards. And, you know, I don't think it's worth holding on to that. Things have not been lining up well for that anyway. So that is what we're going to do. So at least this way we don't take a big hit. Drawing 6 cards, Ghost Kick. If we get enough damage, we can just push for the win. Well, we didn't get a ton of damage. In fact, we got a whole bunch of things we would have liked to have been in hero form to play. But that's just kind of the deal with Gwen, especially in protection. So, all right, this goes up by 1. Thanos is scheming for 2, 3, 4. So this goes up to 5. Proxima schemes for 1, so it goes up to 6. We get Infinity Stone, which is the Reality Stone. And our encounter card is Ebony Maw. Oy. So yeah, this is where 2 Ghost Kicks would have been wonderful. So I don't think there's anything to do in Alter Ego. We're only going to be able to deal 10 damage. We're going to be 1 shy. Oh, but then we have... No. I think we've got this. I think we've got this. Thanks to Thanos' Retaliate. So we're going to flip into hero form, and we're not going to mess around. We're just going to attack for 2. Bring Thanos down to 9. That is going to be Retaliate. We use an energy barrier to prevent the damage and hit him for 8. Or hit him for 1, down to 8. And then we'll just go ahead and use a Strength to play a Ghost Kick, dealing 6 damage to an enemy. Bring him down to 2. Energy barrier will prevent the Retaliate. Bring him down to 1. The Ghost Kick readies us, draws us a card to an Expert Defense, and then we will simply attack for 2 more, bring him to 0. And though we have a whole host of scary effects in play, we have managed to overcome Thanos, even with this terrible, terrible hand. So there you go. That was Ghost Spider against Thanos in one of my perfect matchups that I do think this one plays really well. You saw that even with just getting a really rough start, not getting the key cards in play that we really wanted early, and often not getting defense cards. Now, I will admit, we got really lucky on a couple of boost draws where we managed to not take damage, even though we had no extra defense, so that really worked out. So this can be a really varied matchup, you know, thanks to the order of the Infinity Stones as they come out, and, you know, how everything works together. But we managed to get the win here. And as always, it was a really fun game. Ghost Spider is a hero that continues to go back and forth with me. This was one of those games that made me not as enamored with her, just because so many of her cards just really feels like they need to come out at the right time. And maybe that's true for a lot of heroes, but it feels like I run into that more often with Ghost Spider. You just get really weird hands because of the way her resource curve works and when you want to be playing her cards. And things didn't really line up in this game as well as they did the last time I played her against Thanos. But we still got the win, and we were still in pretty good shape. So I guess she's just strong enough to overcome the fact that, you know, she has so many cards that want to be played in Alter Ego already in her deck, or in the defense plays, I mean, when the villain attacks or whatever. combined with you want to be playing your end protection, so you've got a ton of other cards that you want to be playing during the villain phase, and I find that that really gives her some awkward hands pretty frequently. But she still overcomes it. Worried Father came out, and it didn't totally wreck us, but it's always sad to see that he kind of fixes those awkward hands for you. So they recognize that that's kind of how she works. But then they give the villain a tool to take away the best thing that you have to prevent you from getting such awkward hands. So it all kind of works out, I guess. So I really want to thank you for joining me for this early morning extra. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time we get up in game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.